help it, it's the culture. I can help it, it's the culture. It's the culture, it's the culture. I can help it, it's the culture.
That dude, period, dog. I'm internationally.
You just saying her body looks good.
It is.
That's how we
You
got
told
to
me
this
she was
combo.
fake. I can't stop.
So you thought it was
in
real?
there. No, I can't do it.
Oh.
I respect it. You know what I mean? The visual, cool. Stay over there. Don't touch me.
And
With
how
your
you
fake
feel
ears.
about it, Kwame?
Who,
Give
me?
honest.
Come on, yo.
My honest opinion?
Tell him,
Yes.
yo.
I believe women should do whatever they want with their
Oh,
bodies. If
I
they feel
exactly.
whatever
Go with
empowers
the
them.
political
Like,
answer.
it's not
He's such a
my position to tell them.
politician. Kwame for
I'm for the
president.
people.
Let's go. Let's do
If
it.
she wants to change her face, let her change her
Come on,
face.
Raven. So you trying to tell me that's what you down with? You down with fake body parts?
No, I'm not down with that
You
at
know, I'm
all.
about to get my
That's what I'm
surgery
saying.
done. Yeah, I'm about to get fake chest
No,
and fake
I'm with this.
six-pack
Like you
and-
said, I believe in, at the end of the day, I accept everyone. If that's what makes you happy and feel good about yourself, cool. But my whole thing is, I feel like guys are now idolizing these females who have all these fake body parts, and then it's the females who are natural and make them feel like, oh dang, like.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't
guys
think that's
care
true,
about it.
though.
It
Yes,
is,
they
though.
do.
It is.
And even
It
like the actresses,
Especially
you
in the
know,
industry,
when,
honestly.
when they show them like with the makeup, you know, this is what you want. But when you see the picture after, you can't even recognize them.
Yeah,
but
you looking-
you
right,
know,
talking
the
about Rick
medium
Ross.
big. Well,
No,
both
he's
of
not
them.
the only
not-
one though.
I mean,
all the
Meek
video
and
girls,
Nicki,
all
I
the
mean,
video
it's
vixens.
1,000 of them. I think
can't-
that you should do
can't with that.
whatever you want to
That's
do.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Yo, big shout out to them. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I can't offend my political connects. Shout out to everybody at Norma Jeans, man. Love all of y'all. Hey, I got free
You should
drinks
do
last
whatever
night.
you
Look,
want to do,
love all of y'all.
but you know, I agree with you too. I mean, it is what it is, but
Right.
you're gonna do what you want to do regardless. So
Or don't be like, oh, I look good, I got this
Let's
fake,
be
I got
real.
this fake,
It's
blah, blah,
like,
blah, blah. But it ain't
You don't
sure.
want to
So
be
what are
laid
you
up on no
boasting about?
fakeness. You want real. Like, come on, dog.
Agreed.
But I'm in a whole. First of all, I'm in a whole different age demographic than y'all. So like, I'm all into the
They
old
in your
school
age graphic
thing
too.
for-
What are you trying to say?
Yeah,
Dad?
if they older and their face be all jacked up, one boob is up higher than the other one. Like, it's all weird. It's uncomfortable. Like, I'm not cool with it. What happens? She gonna be old and crinkly, but her breasts gonna be all brand new. It's like weird.
She can just
and
keep
not
her bra on. Just keep your bra on.
No, you can't wear underclothes around me. Dog. When we at home, we got to be naked. Let it all hang down. Like,
Okay, so we all agree we want real, right?
Yeah, we all
So we
want
gonna
real.
get real tonight in this convo, right?
That's what's up. Butt naked. Let's go, everybody. Let's no. Dang, consider this is not happy with that one. She was like, nah, we can't do that.
So, what made me want to bring you in, Kwame, is because you have been, you've been influencing a lot of people due to your action. Like I told you earlier, like all of us, we all have a purpose, but yours is a little bit different. Like I look at you like you are I don't want to say a suicide bomber.
What?
But you,
Whoa, listen
though to what I'm saying, because when you're going out here to protest for all these purposes, there's no telling what's going to happen. You get me? So it's like you're throwing yourself out there seriously, especially with all this going on now. So that's really brave. That's why I say you're a suicide bomber. When they go out there knowing they're going in for something, and you know you're going in for something, don't know what.
So I look at it like back at April. So the Geraldo video came out April 28th. 2 weeks before that, we were protesting. So I was working like night shifts when everything happened, and we would literally go protest, overnight. And like I didn't know what was happening. Like I didn't know. I was having conversations with police officers before, like yelling at them. I didn't know like what. I didn't know. Like I didn't plan for any of this to happen.
Right.
Like, even in Geraldo moment, I had no idea who Geraldo was. I didn't know that it was gonna blow up. I even fought to get it taken down from Twitter. Like my whole thing was just like, I was out there because I really felt like the same pain that a lot of people felt, and I think that was the beautiful thing about Baltimore, right? Like the whole culture of Baltimore has like been so divided for so long. But like when Freddie Gray passed, it was literally like everybody in the community came together for a common purpose, and it wasn't like no organizations, but it was like people was looking out the window, seeing people walk down the street, and like leaving their front door open and walking down there too. And that's exactly what happened with me. And I was just, it was the right place at the right time to say the right message.
I agree.
Man, that's so interesting. I didn't really look at it from that perspective, but I give you props. That's one way of looking at it.
What
You know what I'm
happened at the Sorry Day? You spoke on the Geraldo situation. What happened with that exactly?
That night I was just talking to State Senator Catherine Pugh.
Okay.
So I knew her from like my old job, and we were just sitting there having a conversation. But the whole conversation was revolved around how can we get people to respect the curfew. And my suggestion at that point was tell the police drop the riot gear, we all form a big circle and say a prayer, and I bet you everybody will go home.
Right.
The police like kept saying no.
So you really was, and you was really like suggesting this.
Yeah, we was calm. Like that was the whole thing. Like everybody was calm that whole day. So that was the Tuesday, right?
Right.
Like literally, if you was out there that Tuesday, you saw every fraternity, every sorority, you saw every college represented. Yep. Like you saw every demographic. Like it was black, it was white, it was brown, it was yellow, it was old, it was young. Like we was out there in a calm manner, but that the media kept trying to spin it and talk about the negative impact. But they wasn't even talking about. They wasn't even they was talking about riots that never took place and not an uprising that took place on Monday. Because even the people running into them buildings was taking like necessities, like clothes, food, Pampers for their kids, stuff that they wouldn't have got because everything was going to be shut down for the whole week. And their kids needed to eat because schools were shut down for a week.
Right.
So I mean, I looked at it and at that moment. It was just like, here you got this white dude, this outsider, like literally controlling how the story is being told to millions of people who got the same views he got. And it was just like, no, we not about to let that happen. And I had no idea how powerful Twitter was at that time. I had like 43 followers on Twitter. I think I had like 2 tweets. And like I didn't know how we was going to tell our story. I didn't know how to tell my story, but I knew at that moment like I wasn't about to let nobody else tell the story.
Right, and that's your platform.
Yeah. And so like I said, I don't know what came over me. I don't know how that all came out like that. But somehow it was a calm came over me where the moment was bigger than me, and it still is bigger than me. It was like something needed to be said, so I felt like voices spoke through me that wasn't necessarily. It was reflective of like an entire generation.
And I'll say this too. I think that's one of the most important things, and that's how you know that it is a higher being that's giving you that fuel or whatever. A lot of the times I know within my own community work, and before I was in it, it's heavy that I'm in it now. I got heavy in it. I just woke up and it just, like you said, something was just like, do it. Yeah. And then from there, I know me personally can't not sleep because I'm trying to think of something else that you can do within the community to change it. Right. So I think that's dope that you went with your intuition because a lot of people don't. And I think that's why a lot of the times things get lost in translation because we don't follow through with things that we know that we're supposed to do. So that's definitely dope that you kept moving through everything.
Now let me ask one question. Like in the midst of that storm, or not storm, but in the midst of the developments and things that were happening, what do you feel like was the number one biggest misconception? I mean, because I know you were saying that they were trying to peg things as being like rampant riots through everything, but it was like a calm, peaceful thing. Do you feel like that was the biggest thing that people kind of skewed in the wrong direction, or were there other things? Because me being on the outside, I was the old dude sitting up in the crib like watching everything on television. Right. Now I knew that nothing crazy was going on because I can go outside, look out my window and see there wasn't nothing jumping for real. So, but I didn't know what was going on ground zero like that.
I mean, so I think the misconception was it started from when you had a black mayor get on TV, and you had a black president get on TV. Talk about like people, like black people in a major American city and label an entire generation thugs and criminals. But the whole incident transpired and started off when the police showed up before the kids at Frederick Douglass High School got out of school. When the kids got out, the police was being hyper aggressive like they always are. And they never talk about how the other kids, like how many kids get busted in the Mondawmin every day coming from school, and then you cut the buses off and literally have nowhere for the kids to go. Like, and it was just like the misconception was people thought we was just rebels without a cause, but it was really like, nah, this was a retaliation because the kid was kids out there, like high school kids, are like, no, we're not about to take this no more. And them kids like showed so much unity, the way like, one person would throw a rock up top and then another one would beam a rock at the police officer. And we had them on retreat. Like they had the police on retreat, and I seen like the beauty in that, like the strategic. It was like to me that was like, that's the beauty of blackness, right? Like, it wasn't that they was going to be survivors. They weren't going to be victims. They was going to be victorious.
Right. That was we did a broadcast on the night things were happening. And that was somebody that called in and said that it was like a real. It wasn't as confused and people just doing random stuff. It seemed like everybody was working together very strategically, not just on the political side, but even on if they were going to be aggressive or do an attack, it was very strategic. So that's interesting. I don't really want to say, oh, that's great, because I think like it might be kind of wrong. I'm still conflicted with the whole thing, man. And even when I wrote my article, that was like, I wrote an article about the whole thing, the whole post-Freddie Gray world to me in Baltimore is just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Like I don't know whether I'm supposed to mourn or whether I'm supposed to be angry.
All right, guys, wait.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Do your thing.
We're just getting started. So make sure y'all stay tuned in. We're going to a music break with DJ 695, and we will definitely be back to speak with Kwame Rose.
Yeah. Turn up.
Yo, Freddy.
What if I started doing that?
Go ahead, do it.
No, I'm not.
Do the fizzle. Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Wait. She's
Do your thing, G.
That's definitely love. So, for y'all who did not know, he is an artist.
Yeah.
Dope. Really dope. Really dope. Really dope. So, when did you start doing that? So did you just start that last year, or you was already into music?
No, so I've been recording music since like 7th grade. When I dropped out of college, part of the reason I was dropping out, not going back to school, was like to focus on music. Okay. So actually, like before all the video on the activism limelight, I have a band. It's actually kind of weird. My band's name is The Love of Culture.
Wow.
We performing in DC like the weekend right before the Geraldo video came out. We performed at Dope Fest in DC. The Blind Wino. Yeah. Shouts out the Dopeology and that crew down there. But yeah, I've been performing in DC since since the beginning of this year. And it's just been nothing but love. The DMV shout out. I got a band and look, I just love music, and that's been the way I was pushing my message before.
So, like, would you define it as more hip hop or more R&B-ish? Would it be a blending of the two? Would it be more Drakey?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say Drake. I would say I definitely prefer to perform live with my band. Right. So that way people can see a different side, because I can carry a tune a little bit with the band. Gotcha. So I prefer that, but I don't like to call myself a rapper. I just prefer to call myself a artist. In a sense, I think the term rapper is overused and kind of watered down. Right. My stuff has substance. My music has substance. It has a message. It has a reason. And I make music that I want people to relate to in all sense. So yeah.
So would it be more politically motivated maybe? Or?
Not politically, real life. Like I make music, I want people to look in the mirror and be like, yo, this is me. Like looking, because that's what I did. Like when I was beginning of last year, I remember I bumped Cold.
That's what
Friday
I
Night Lights.
That's the direction
from January, literally from January 25th when the car broke down to March 20th when I bought my first car. I was 19, bought my car, I bumped Cold for the whole 2 months, like waking up 4 a.m. in the morning, just because I felt that and I related to it. And that's the kind of music I want.
That's why I said my comparison would be like J. Cole, Lupe, like you actually speak stuff that's going on out here, like you said, that people can listen to and actually learn from. Like it has value, to the music.
That's what's up. Now I feel mad. I'm like, man, I should
have. Now you have to do your review.
You know what I mean? I gotta get in on this. Yo. I feel like an outsider. Like
if I was a rapper, I probably would have.
You know what I'm saying?
I probably would have heard by now if I was a rapper.
Well, you know, radio was radio. You got to record it. We play it on air. Shoot, man. We always want to support our own, man. Like to me, I feel like at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to make sure we support our own people, like family or whatever. So like you in Baltimore, like we out here doing our thing. So why can't we support you? So. I mean, like, I can't wait to get with you and listen to music. And you got a band on top of that? That's crazy, man.
I love bands.
Yeah, I love what I go to.
Right, it's all together. Like, yo, y'all like king and queen of the love fest out there. Right? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you're really like an angel. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You like a little queen out this joint, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind busting heads for you, G. It's all good, man. You the boss out here, baby. It's all good. I got you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you have this new single that we're going to play before we're going to break. Not yet, guys, but State of Emergency. So do you make a lot of your music based on your experiences being out here as an activist?
So it's so before everything happened, I was pushing music. Like I said, I was moving with Chop Gang, and then the Geraldo video came out, and that kind of threw me into altered my life dramatically. Like I literally lost everything from 5 months ago. I'm not in any of the same positions I was in 5 months ago.
That's good though.
And so when the Freddie Gray situation happened, it was, my friend Kalaja, who's out in DC, who was getting me my shows. He helps me now. He's an amazing, integral part of my success now. But he he was just like, yo, you need to like, I was like stressing out. He was just like, yo, you need to get in the studio and just like let your feelings go.
That's genius.
And that's when State of Emergency came out. And for me, it's like State of Emergency is like the
sounds real.
like that's like that's my like baby. Like that's my, you know what I'm saying? That was like the most like raw passion that I ever felt. And it came out in a poetic way. And so I put together, during the process, I've also put out an EP. It's called Active Is. So it's active and is, because I always like to say, you know, I was active way before I was an activist. So like,
gotcha.
you know, even when I did, so when I was pushing music, I was still, when I threw Love of the Culture music festival, but I still made people, you know what I'm saying, bring clothes for the homeless.
Right.
I was still involved, I was still conscious. Like I had a full scholarship to University of Texas for debate.
We met doing a cookout for the homeless that we did together.
And so I was talking about black issues. Like I had a full scholarship. A lot of people don't know I had a full scholarship to college, to the University of Texas. I was on the debate team.
Okay.
And I talked about these issues. Like I got known around, like I was known for talking like black issues. Like I wouldn't talk about the topic. I would literally be like, no, y'all ain't talking about black people. And that's a problem.
Right.
That's dope.
So that's I mean, I'm just like every, like, I got a lot of dreams, you know what I'm saying? One of my, I might want to be a dancer one day. I might want to be on American.
Y'all should see his face, he was serious.
You know, all my friends that's listening is like, all my friends that's listening is like, no, nigga.
Still trying to consume the part of being an activist and an artist with the band, and you know what I mean? And then he want to just toss in the dancing part too. Like,
but I think that for me, that's why Pac was always my favorite over Biggie, because you are not one person all day. Like, I mean, I don't want to save the world all day. Maybe 16 hours of my day, but sometimes I want to be ratchet and turn up. I want to go shopping. I want to do everything. And I just think in life, you are multifaceted. If you're only doing one thing, you need to rethink what you're doing. So I think if you did want to be a dancer tomorrow, that would be dope. Be a dancer tomorrow. I just think you always got to follow what it is that you're doing.
I think so. Like, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do want to change the world, like, every second of the day, but I think it's, like, multiple ways I can do it. So in the morning, I don't wake up as Kwame, like, man, F the system, da-da-da-da-da. I wake up like, yo, let me check my Twitter.
I'm like that 24 hours.
You know what I'm saying? Sweet, yeah. But at the same time, it's like different levels. Like, at different times, I got different feelings, and there's different ways to get it all out.
Right.
And that keeps me sane, right? It keeps me well-balanced, so I ain't just, like, the one dude that's just, like,
so
he's just standing on the corner with this megaphone.
Right.
Sell me some weed with no stems, because I'm trying to get high. And life, you only got one shot. I'm hoping I don't overcalculate or got bad karma and my check show up like me late. Wait, patiently, flow so artistically. My rap looks like a Bible, paint pictures like Jesus supposed to be. Got dreams of riding in phantoms just to say we came a long way from them slave ships. We took back our kingdom, replaced bad bitches with goddesses. She hails from the Nile. I'm just as high as the cloud. The girl that's one with the earth, keep my 2 feet on the ground. Here's some acknowledgement. This is what niggas' problem is. We so busy chasing vagina, we forget black women producing diamonds. That's how my flow became so timeless, and I live in Hotep. Live to the fullest of my potential in the midst of this death. Hey, fuck a lead check. Where my 40 acres at? Looked in the mirror and seen the reflection of the president. See, I'm 3/5 of a human. Guess what remains is that of a god. And somehow that outweighs all my flaws. Am I wrong for second guessing religion? Blind to the truth like Stevie, here's my premonition. Or maybe he see the world more clearly. Instagram got every black chick modeling. Shouts to them bitches with doctorates. I speak for all the dropouts when I say this. Go get your education, might not be on playlist.
Hey.
Bars.
I quit smoking like 3 days ago.
Everybody.
That means everybody.
Look at this.
I want Steve.
You see that nigga?
I promise you, I'm looking on the tip. So nobody want to get a picture. They think Jamal coming for me.
You got to know. I'm a dead nigga, y'all. We're gonna go church hurt. I'm going to church. I bet y'all be at this church on Sunday. Well, I was with you.
I got to do this because I always do it. Thanks, all right?
Do your hearts.
Put the hearts up, guys.
I got it.
Oh, snap. How do we...
I know myself.
Make your own heart, babe.
Yeah, do it like, nah, that's upside down.
Come on.
It's the culture. I can help it, it's the culture.